When I was 12 years old, my parents trusted me enough to stay home alone for the first time. It was supposed to be the perfect night. Pizza, video games, and freedom. But that night, I learned something terrifying. Sometimes the person at your door isn't there to deliver food. They're there for you.
We lived in a quiet little town. Friendly neighbors, safe streets, the kind of place where people didn't even lock their doors at night. It felt like nothing bad could ever happen there. That Saturday night, my parents had plans to go out with friends. Normally, my grandparents or my older sister would babysit me. But my sister was away, and my parents figured I was old enough now. They left me $20 for dinner and told me to order pizza and have fun. For a 12-year-old, it was heaven. No rules, no bedtime, just me, my PS2, and a large pizza. I ordered from Gianni's, a small pizzeria a few blocks away. It wasn't long before the doorbell rang. I hurried downstairs, money in hand. The man who stood there didn't look like the usual delivery driver. He was in his 30s, rough-looking, with a greasy black trucker hat and a long, unkempt beard. He handed me the box, but his eyes weren't on me. They were peering past me, into the house. Then he asked a question that made my stomach twist.
You alone here?
I froze. My parents had warned me about strangers, so I quickly lied.
No, my parents are just upstairs.
His expression didn't change. He gave me my change, and I shut the door fast. Hours passed. I played more video games, ate my pizza, and almost forgot about him. Until around 11 p.m., the doorbell rang again. Excited, I thought it was my parents coming home. I ran to the door and called out,
Mom? Dad?
But the voice that answered wasn't theirs. It was a man's voice.
Hey, kid. I need help. Can I use your phone?
My heart dropped. I didn't answer. Instead, I backed away from the door. That's when the knocking started. Slow, heavy, deliberate. And then, the man said something chilling.
Wait, please. I see you. Don't run.
He could see me through the glass. I bolted upstairs and grabbed the phone in my parents' room. Hands shaking, I called my mom. She answered, groggy, but when I told her someone was trying to get inside, her voice snapped awake. She told me to lock the door and stay hidden. She and my dad would call the police immediately. As she was talking, I heard it. The gate outside creaking open. Someone was in the backyard. I whispered into the phone, Mom,
what if he tries the windows?
She told me to stay quiet and not move. Then it happened. The sound of footsteps inside the house. He was in. I couldn't breathe. I hid under the bed, clutching the phone as the footsteps grew louder. Up the stairs, down the hallway, closer, closer, until he reached my parents' bedroom door. The knob rattled. He tried to open it. Again and again. Then a soft knock. But he didn't say a word. Finally, the footsteps retreated. The silence was worse than the knocking. I thought he was waiting for me to make a sound. Minutes felt like hours until I heard heavy boots pounding through the house. A man's voice shouted my name. The police. When I opened the door, they rushed me out. The back door was wide open. The sliding window had been forced. He had gotten in. But whoever it was, he was gone. When my parents returned, the police had me retell everything. They asked if anyone knew I was alone. And then I remembered. The pizza guy, the one who asked that question at the door. We went to Gianni's the next day, but when we asked the manager, he brushed us off, said the man I described was Phil, one of his drivers, but he insisted Phil couldn't have done it. We never saw him again, and not long after, that pizzeria shut down. I'm older now, but I still live in that same house, and I'll never forget that night. The memory of his voice at the door, his shadow watching me through the glass, the sound of his footsteps inside the house, it still chills me. Because sometimes the scariest monsters aren't in movies. They're the ones delivering your dinner. Thank you for listening. If you want more true horror stories like this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay safe out there. And remember, never, ever tell a stranger you're home alone.